Syllogism is a form of dash inference. Answer hela mediate inference. There are dash propositions in a syllogism. 3 propositions in a syllogism. There are dash terms in a syllogism. 3 terms in a syllogism. Categorical propositions are of dash types. Are of 4 types. Minor term is the dash of conclusion in a syllogism. Minor term is the subject of a conclusion in a syllogism. Major term is the dash of a conclusion in a syllogism. Major term is the predicate of conclusion in a syllogism. Middle term is present in both the premises. Middle term cannot be present in conclusion. The letter S stands for dash in syllogism. The letter S stands for minor term in syllogism. The letter P stands for dash in syllogism. The letter P stands for major term in a syllogism. The letter M stands for dash in a syllogism. The letter M stands for middle term in a syllogism. When major term is not distributed in major premise but distributed in conclusion, it is called dash. It is called illicit measure. When minor term is not distributed in minor premise but distributed in conclusion, it is called dash, illicit minor. When middle term is not distributed at least once in the premises, it is called the fallacy of undistributed middle. The symbol S stands for dash in reduction. The symbol S stands for simple conversion in reduction. The symbol P stands for dash in reduction. The symbol P stands for partial conversion in reduction. The symbol M stands for dash in reduction. The symbol M stands for mutual transposition in reduction. The symbol K stands for dash in reduction. The symbol K stands for oversion in reduction. There are dash premises in a syllogism. There are 2 premises in a syllogism. Syllogism is the conjoint assertion of dash premises. Syllogism is a conjoint assertion of 2 premises. Figure is determined by taking the position of dash. Figure is determined by taking the position of a middle term. In dash figure, middle term stands in predicate place in both the premises. In second figure, middle term stands predicate place in both the premises. In dash figure, middle term stands in subject place in both the premises. In third figure, middle term stands in subject place in both the premises. Middle term stands in subject place. Middle term stands in subject place in major premise and predicate place in minor premise. It is called dash figure. It is called first figure. When middle term stands in predicate place in major premise and subject place in minor premise, it is called fourth figure. There are dash valid modes in all figures. There are 19 valid modes in all figures. There are dash valid modes in all figures, including weak modes. There are 24 valid modes in all figures, including the weak modes. Weak modes are dash in a number. Weak modes are 5 in a number. Weak modes are also dash. Weak modes are also valid. There are dash valid modes in third figure. There are 6 valid modes in third figure. There are dash valid modes in fourth figure. There are 5 valid modes in fourth figure. Dash mode of a third figure cannot be directly reduced. Bocado mode of third figure cannot be directly reduced. Dash mode of a second figure cannot be directly reduced. Barocco mode of second figure cannot be directly reduced. The rename of a Barocco is a dash. The rename of a Barocco is a Faxoco. The rename of a Bocado is a dash. The rename of a Bocado is a Doxa. Barocco is directly reduced to dash. Barocco is directly reduced to Ferio. Bocado is directly reduced to dash. Bocado is directly reduced to Dari. The premise in which major term occurs is the major premise. The premise in which major term occurs, it is called major premise. The premise in which minor term occurs, it is dash premise. It is called a minor premise. The denotation of a major term is dash than the denotation of a minor term. The denotation of a major term is more than the denotation of a minor term. Syllogisms are of a dash kinds. Syllogisms are of a namely two kinds, namely pure and mixed. Mood is a form of a syllogism as determined by dash and dash of the premises. Mood is a form of a syllogism as determined by quality and quantity of the premises. The middle term must be distributed at least dash in the premises, at least once in the premises. From two negative premises, dash conclusion can be drawn. No conclusion can be drawn. If one of the premise in a syllogism is negative, then the conclusion must be dash. Then the conclusion must be negative. If both premises in a syllogism are particular, then dash conclusion can be drawn. Then no conclusion can be drawn. If one of the premises is particular, then the conclusion must be dash. Then the conclusion must be particular. If both the premises in a syllogism are affirmative, then the conclusion must be dash. Then the conclusion must be affirmative. If the major premise is particular and the minor premise is negative, then dash conclusion follows. Then no conclusion follows. If minor premise is particular in a syllogism and any of the premise is negative, then the conclusion must be dash proposition. Then the conclusion must be O proposition. If the middle term is not distributed at least once in the premises, then the syllogism commits the fallacy of a dash. Then the syllogism commits the fallacy of a undistributed middle. If the minor term is distributed in the conclusion without being distributed in the minor premise, then the fallacy is called dash. Then the fallacy is called illicit minor. If the major term is distributed in the conclusion without being distributed in the major premise, then the syllogism commits the fallacy of a dash, commits the fallacy of a illicit measure. The weakened modes in figure first are dash and dash, are Barbary and Syllaront. The subaltern modes in figure 2 are Kamestrov and Cesaro. There is no subaltern or weakened mode in dash figure. There is no subaltern or weakened mode in third figure. The subaltern mode in figure 4th is dash. The subaltern mode in 4th figure is Kamenov. Direct is a valid mode in dash figure. Direct is a valid mode in third figure. Brahmative is a valid mode in dash figure. Brahmative is a valid mode in fourth figure. In all the four figures, there are dash valid modes. There are 19 valid modes. There are dash weakened modes. Total in the all figures, there are 5 weakened modes total in all figures. Weakened modes are also dash. Weakened modes are also valid. There are total dash valid modes in all figures, including the weakened mode. There are total 24 valid modes in all figures, including the weak mode. In first figure, major premise must be dash. In first figure, major premise must be inversal. And the minor premise must be dash in first figure. The minor premise must be affirmative in first figure. In second figure, major premise must be dash. In second figure, major premise must be inversal. In second figure, conclusion must be dash. In second figure, conclusion must be negative. One of the premises must be dash in figure second. In figure second, one of the premises must be negative. In the third figure, minor premise must be dash. In the third figure, minor premise must be affirmative. In third figure, conclusion must be dash. In third figure, conclusion must be particular. The combination of premises that are valid in all four figures are dash and dash. The combination of premises that are valid in all four figures are EA and EI. The combination of premises that is valid in figure first, third and fourth is dash. The combination of premises that is valid in figure first, third and fourth is AA. For Aristotle, only dash figure is perfect. For Aristotle, only first figure is the perfect. The process of a transformation of the imperfect modes to the perfect mode in figure first is called dash. The process of transformation of the imperfect modes to the perfect mode in first figure is called reduction. An A type of a proposition can be conclusion in dash. A type of a proposition can be conclusion in figure first. An O type of a proposition cannot be a premise in dash and dash figure. And O type of a proposition cannot be a premise in first and fourth figure. The imperfect modes that initially could not be reduced directly are dash and dash, are Barocco and Boccado.